Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we're reviewing a Ford Raptor with the 35 package. Now, I want to accomplish a few things with this video. First off, I want to talk about some of the slight changes for the 2023 model year with the Ford Raptor. I also want to have a review with the 35 package so we can kind of talk about that. And then I also want to have a review with a Raptor that has some miles. This Raptor happens to have 30,000 miles on it, so we can see if the Gen 3 is something that, you know, holds up as well as the Gen 2 did. And so let's try to, well, accomplish all of that in this video. Anyways, before we get into this video, a huge shout out and thank you to Southtown Imports here in Utah for giving me some time with this Gen 3 Raptor. This one is available for sale for the time being, so if you're interested, I'll include a link to their inventory in the description down below. They also happen to sell the new Mitsubishi products, so if you're interested in that, reach out to them as well. And if you're wondering, they also have a bunch of other cool cars. Like, they've got a Ford Bronco Raptor right now. They also have a Bronco Wildtrak. So if you're looking for a cool pre-owned vehicle, just reach out to them, ask for Nick if you have any questions. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. So under the hood, we have a turbocharged 3.5 liter V6 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Power outputs are 450 horsepower and then 510 pound-feet of torque, with fuel economy being 15 around town and then 18 on the highway with the 35 package. Now, before we go over the front end, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting off with the hood, you guys can see this one's finished in iconic silver, which looks absolutely iconic. We've got the Raptor logo there on the side of the hood bulge, which looks pretty sweet. So starting with the lights, you guys can see the amber daytime running lights, and look at the LED headlight there. And then we got the marker lights here on the front end as well. And then you guys can see the chunky Ford logo with the camera below the logo. And then look at the bumper, how aggressive that is. And then you guys can see we've got the tow hooks here on the front end, and we actually don't have any lights. That's the first time I've seen a Gen 3 without the lights there on the front bumper. Anyways, you got the bash plate there on the front end. And then something else to note is we've got just over 12 inches of ground clearance with the 35 package. And wrapping things off with the front end, I love the look of this, especially without the lights there at the bottom. And then the second thing that I want to mention is this paint. It looks like brand new, and I think that Ford's done a really good job with where they have put painted sections on the front end to avoid having tons of rock chips, if that makes sense. Like, notice how little of the bodywork is painted there on the front end, so I think that's smart. So we've got 35s wrapped around 17-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. The wheels are beadlock capable, and they just look super sweet. Now, I don't know if these are the original tires. If they are, then they'd have, again, 30,000 miles on them, which I think is pretty impressive because it looks like, judging by the tread, I mean, I'm no tire expert, you've got like maybe another like 5,000-6,000 plus miles left. So I don't know, I think that's impressive. Now, we still have the live valve Fox shocks, even with the 35 package, which you can kind of see right there. Big chunky fender flares, that's what the Raptor is known for. And then you got the venting here on the side. And also you got the Raptor style side steps. Notice the mirrors and the door handles are body paint, or I should say the mirror, because you can't see the mirror on the other side, but you get the point. And then here's a better look at those shocks from the rear. And then of course we got the multi-link setup here in the back, which is always sweet to see. And then here's the stance from the side, which I think looks really cool. Now, something that I want to mention that's a big change for 23 is the fact that there is no longer a Torsen limited slip differential in the front end with the trucks. Ford's replaced it with some sort of like active braking system. So yeah, just know that if you get a 23 Raptor, whether it's a regular Raptor or a Raptor R, no Torsen. Now here's our key fob. We have our unlock function, our lock function, remote start, and then the tailgate dropped in with the Raptor logo there on the back. And we'll press this a couple times, it'll pop right down. Now, popping into the bed area, we have a payload capacity of over 1,300 pounds. And then it looks like this one has some LED light action here in the bed. And then we also have a full power outlet as well. And this one has some nice bed liner. This one does not have the tailgate step system, and I doubt this is going to be automatic. Yeah, no, so this is the one where you just have to pick it up yourself. Now, of course, you got the marker light there on the fender flare, and then we got the Raptor taillights, which look super cool. Raptor logo here on the back end with the Ford logo. So this one has the delete for the applique, and then you guys can see the exhaust tips here at the bottom. Still has the active exhaust. Now, although I am personally not a fan of this style of tailgate because it has the applique delete, I still think that this looks cool because it's a Raptor, guys. Now, popping inside, this one has the black interior, so notice that it's black here at the top and then with the padding down below, and this is held up amazingly well. We'll check the driver area, which will obviously probably have more wear, but anyways, you can see the gray there as well. And then here are the seats. These are the seats that I recommend for people to get. You guys can see perforated in the center. And this one has a little like cloth on the side. And that's just because like they're more comfortable and they wear better over time. I mean, look at like these seats basically look brand new back here. And then you can see this under seat storage as well. And then legroom back here is solid. We got a little storage pocket, some cup holder action. You got the vents down here with the outlets as well. And then the headroom back here is also great. And we got a cup holder armrest. Now taking a look at the front door panel, you guys can see again with the trim here and then with the padding down below. And you got the gray insert there. All of our window controls, looks like the front two are automatic. Memory seat functionality, and this one has blind spot monitoring too. And then here's the front driver's seat. Obviously this one's gonna have the most wear because, well, the driver's seat's always gonna be used in a vehicle. You guys can see it's perforated all down the center. And obviously you can see some wear marks, but the biggest thing is look how like cushiony this is. And obviously I had to sit in the truck to get it over here, and I can tell you these seats are so much more comfortable than my Raptor seats. And then you got your power adjustments on the side. And then over here we've got our pedal adjustment, light control here with the mirror lights. And then we've got the steering wheel adjustment, which is manual. Now here's a quick look at the steering wheel. You got the marker there at the top, and then you got the nice trim all around with the paddle shifters there in the back. And that's another thing that I feel like has worn pretty well here on the Gen 3. Now so we got our adjustments here for the steering shocks, and then you guys can see here for the exhaust, and then we've got the R mode on it as well. And then the rest of the controls, like your controls for center stack, adaptive cruise control, and then of course we got our turn signal windshield wiper stock. Now I've got the full digital gauge cluster here. The thing I'm most interested to see though is the fuel economy. 6.1, there's no way. Okay, there we go. There's an actual trip there. 14.6. That's actually less than what I get in mine. Huh. I wonder why the fuel economy is so low with this, because I've got the 37 package and I'm averaging over 15 miles per gallon. Again, this one's got 31,000 miles on it. Interesting. Anyways, next thing is going to be the drive modes. You got a bunch of different drive modes that you can go between with the Raptor for both on-road and off-road use. The main ones that I use, normal, sport, and then of course Baja mode. And then you can adjust stuff like the steering, like I said earlier. You can adjust the shocks, you can adjust the exhaust, all independently of each other. And then in reverse, we actually have the full 360 camera system. I wasn't expecting this on a more baseline Raptor. So really good resolution with it, and you can see all around the truck. And then, yeah, we've got the full 12-inch infotainment system. Response time with the screen is great. We've got Trail Turn Assist, which was released for the 22 model year. You got little auxiliary pages here off to the side as well. And then you guys can see here for the shortcut to the camera if you want to use that. We also have our off-road cruise control at the top. You can't really see it because the lighting here. And then we've got our stability control right next to it. And then Pro Trailer Assist right next to the screen as well. We've got our trailer brake controls right here. You guys can see we've got our drive mode select with our locking differential right there in the center. Just push that in. And then our drive line select. It's got everything including 4-wheel auto and 4-wheel low. And then right next to that we got our climate controls, dual zone climate. And yeah, no heated steering wheel. That's another thing. Ford's just getting rid of options out of vehicles, I suppose. But at least you have heated and cooled seats. Now I got this little trim piece that kind of covers up the charging area here. We've got the fold down shifter, a couple cup holders. This one actually has the workbench center console. Decent storage. And then of course we got the double glove box. And you know, I wasn't a fan of the dash material on the Raptor when I first got mine, but I actually have grown to like it. And the other thing is like, it still looks, this looks like the same as like a brand new truck. So another thing that seems to be wearing well. And then up top we do have the power sliding rear window, which is nice. We got 6 auxiliary switches as well. And then this one doesn't have a sunroof, which if I could have gone back in time, I would have not ordered a sunroof on my Raptor. And you know the best part about a 35 package Raptor? The price. So fully loaded, one of these brand new is like $80,000 for the sticker price. Whereas if you get a 37 package, you're like $90,000 nowadays. And then a Raptor R is $110,000. And that's before the markups on those trucks. The markups on these ones are way more reasonable compared to the markups that you see on the Raptor R and on the 37 package. Let's drive it and see how it handles after 31,385.6 miles. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility of the hood, both of the mirrors. Do a blind spot monitoring, and throughout the rest of the rear. And, well, let's set off. Well, I had to turn around, but we are now officially setting off. Now, I do need to mention, I'm using this driving clip for my Raptor review with the 35 package and talking about some of the 23 changes. And then also I'm using it for my 37 package versus 35 package comparison as well. So yeah, just putting that out there. I guess if you're watching the 35 package versus 37 package, just skip past this driving point so you can see the driving impressions with the 37s, where I kind of compare the trucks a little bit more so. But anyways, actually setting off, I love how the new Gen 3 Raptor drives. I feel super vindicated, I feel like is a good word to use, for purchasing a Gen 3 when I did. I purchased my Gen 3 right out of the gate. It's in early 2021. And I did that because I knew this truck was going to be special, but nobody else thought so. I remember everyone was like, I'm not going to order a Gen 3 because it's too similar to the Gen 2 because it has the same engine, all that kind of stuff. And well, here we are a couple years later, and everyone is trying to get a Gen 3 because it is so much better than the Gen 2. Here's why it's better. First off, you have more options, right? You can get different tires, whereas the Gen 2 you only had 35s, and you can get a new engine with the Gen 3. You've got the 5.2 liter V8, right? That's the Raptor R. Obviously those are very expensive, hard to get, but you've got engine options now with the Gen 3. And then on top of that, this interior I feel like is just so much nicer. Drivability is way better. Like, notice with the transmission, way more responsive. It doesn't have the harsh shifts that you have with the Gen 2. The Gen 2, especially in like the sport mode, pretty harsh with the shift points, whereas with this transmission, they've definitely smoothed things out quite a bit. Let's actually reset the fuel economy. There's no way I'm getting 6 miles per gallon. I think we've been bamboozled. We've been bamboozled. But suspension's really comfortable. This, in my opinion, is probably one of the best riding, if not the best riding, brand new cars. The only thing that I've really driven that feels as comfortable as this is like the new Mercedes S-Class, Mercedes G-Wagon. Those also ride really well. Other than that, the new Genesis G90 is also up here, but there's not a lot of vehicles that ride this well. I will say, I don't know if there's something in here that's rattling, but some part of that center console is rattling a little bit. Ford build quality for the win. I've owned a lot of Fords, I'm used to it. Let's pop it into the sport mode here. We're gonna kill our fuel economy rating. Handling's really good with the Raptor too. And yeah, I mean, even though you've got huge tires, it just handles so well. Oh, I own a Raptor. I'm trying to adjust the mirror slightly out and down. I pressed the power folding function. You guys can destroy me in the comment section down below. Make fun of me as much as you want. Yeah, these leather seats, I kind of talked this earlier, they've worn in really well. That's the thing I like with these seats. Yeah, I understand that, you know, some people don't like that look because it's, you know, it doesn't look as new, right, when the seats are worn in, but like, you sit in leather seats that are worn in like this, and they're so comfortable because you just kind of like slightly sink into it. It's like one of those like old sofas, and it's just like, ah, this is nice. This is nice. Throttle response is really good. Again, the transmission I feel like helps out big time with the response with this. It just, I don't know, the gearing and everything is just really good with it. Speaking of gearing, we've got it in manual mode, so we're just in first gear here. Looks like this Nissan's actually going to turn, so we'll go. Slipped there a little bit. Slipped there a little bit. So it cut power some. It's cold outside, people. I mean, just look how instant the transmission response is. It's just, it's crazy how good this transmission is. There's not a lot of, you know, automatics that are this good, but this one's definitely there. This is quick. That's the thing, is the EcoBoost is like, and that was partial throttle, that wasn't even full throttle. The EcoBoost is honestly quick enough. Don't get me wrong, the Raptor R is awesome, but this is a good powertrain. We also killed our fuel economy. We went down from like 17 to like less than 10. But anyways, that is the 35 package Raptor.